it's me Cosmic, and today we're going to talk about dating! Yippee! And how much it fucking sucks, yippee, yeah. Okay, I won't be this pessimistic this early in the video. Now, although I will talk about dating in more of a furry scene, this will definitely apply to pretty much anybody watching, regardless of if you are a furry or not. Let's first go with a number system. Number 1, compatibility beyond furry. Both of you being furries does help since it's a clue on what they enjoy, and it can be a good icebreaker as well as conversation starter. But if you want to keep the relationship going as well as make that relationship stronger, you will need to learn more about them outside of just being a furry. An individual is more than just one hobby. There are so many other things that make us what we are and who we are, and thus learning these will help us learn each other. Start off by us asking them what else they enjoy, what other hobbies do they have, what's their favorite thing to do when they are outdoors, do they have a favorite music band, and so on and so forth. Start off with small little things that will help give you more of a clue about what kind of person they are, which will help you, act accordingly. Keep an eye open for opportunities to connect with them and do not dry text. Dry texting is the fastest way to ruin any chance that you had, be it high or low. All those chances will get ruined if you dry text. Dry texting, for those of you who may not know, is unenthusiastic and short replies to things, such as K, okay, LOL, without engaging in further conversation. It makes it seem like you don't really care at all, like you're not actually interested in them, in the slightest. You're just chatting with them because you're bored or for the sake of it. It makes it seem like they really just don't have any interest in you, to the point where what's even the point? It's basically a waste of time. Which, keep in mind, this goes both ways. If you feel that way as well, from the way that they dry text, don't waste your time, get out of there. Number 3, understand if it is a good time or not. The person you may have an interest in may have very recently broken up. They may be going through a bit of a hard time. Or they may, to put it simply, be at a bad mental state or mood. Thus, they may be emotionally drained and as a result, emotionally unavailable. Understand what is going on in their life and act accordingly before you decide to become a part of theirs, if you decide to do so. Number 4. If it works, it works. Understand that it may not work out in the end, and that's okay. It's disappointing and or a little bit annoying depending on the context, but it's fine, There are more options and potential partners out there. So don't be discouraged if one of them doesn't work. Within dating, every single person is going to fail as well as succeed, but not make it work for long. It's just going to keep happening until, that one bingo essentially occurs. It's simply a part of life. And again, it's annoying and, a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Number 5, it goes both ways. And setting boundaries. If they aren't showing you as much effort as you are showing them, get out of there and look somewhere else. Now, when it comes to setting boundaries, setting healthy boundaries is very normal for any relationship, and it is required. The only time those boundaries may get lowered is if you are basically like a few years into the relationship, or maybe fiancés, or hell, maybe even married. Only then does it somewhat drop, but still, understandably, there will be 1 or 2 boundaries here and there depending on the individual. Respect these boundaries and don't be a dick about it. Understand that it's okay and it's fine. If you don't like it, you can go and look for someone else. Now, take everything that I just said, and if we were to do most of these IRL inside of just the internet, it will be 100 times stronger. Keep in mind, I understand that for many of us, due to our day-to-day lives, going out and dating in the real world outside is not as easy as it used to be. Combine work hours alongside, if you are getting one, an education, and on top of that you may be exhausted due to work or education or both, so you end up, laying in bed and playing video games. And obviously when that's the case, finding someone on the internet ends up being easier. And keep in mind, it's not finding someone from the internet that's the problem. It's keeping it on the internet and expecting it to work that's the problem. You will need to bring this into the real world at some point. I am aware that real life dating is also much more expensive, but again, it's basically you're paying for something that may end up being higher quality in comparison to a relationship on the internet. And on top of that, there are a decent chunk of things that would incredibly help make the relationship last longer, as well as make the relationship healthier, that you can't do online. You can only do them in the real world with physical interactions. Something as simple as a hug. Like, a lot of people don't realize how emotionally powerful a hug actually is when it is done in the right time. And if you do that at the right time, yeah, your partner is gonna be really happy about that. Understandably so. Anybody would. But also because, see, even if you voice call on the internet, the problem is they can't see your face. And the combination of your voice tone combined with your facial expressions already is a language in and of itself. How do you think people that are mute are able to communicate? Physical movement, as well as facial expressions, are a language on their own. Hence why, again, I would highly recommend real-life dating more than e-dating. But I understand that, the current times are different. It's not like the early 2000s anymore. So I guess what I would recommend is starting off on the internet. Take at the very least, 1 or 2 months, entire 1 or 2 months, to get to know them. And after those few months, and then meet up at like a cafe or something, get some caramel latte. I love caramel latte. God, I want one right now. Can you tell? But yeah, get a caramel latte, sit down, crack a few jokes here and there, and just talk to each other, So now that we are done talking about the basics of dating, let's get to the part where I just make jokes and rant a little bit for the sake of it. This will pretty much apply to you because, honestly, it really seems like this is a common issue that literally everybody faces currently. Alright, let's get into the video. Now, when it comes to dating, we all have a tendency to go to dating apps for it, which on paper, this makes sense. However, we also have the problem of forgetting that although many are there for the same reason as you are, looking for an actual relationship, there are just as many people whom are only there for hookups and forgettable lust and just fun. Nothing more than that. And unfortunately, we are at a time where most don't desire a serious relationship. They just want the fun parts of it, which is their choice. But unfortunately, many aren't honest about this and will end up giving you false hopes about it. But it is what it is, I suppose. Especially the younger you get. I am 25, and my age range, rarely do any of them look for anything even slightly serious. If you're looking for a long-term, committed, serious relationship, I'm gonna be honest with you, your options are severely limited. This, combined with the walking STD dispensaries, also known as open poly folk, hagging all the shit up, and you can see why your options are severely limited. And there is something that we all need to ask ourselves before looking for a relationships. Are we really looking for love? Or are we not? Because if you are, once again, your options are gonna be rather limited. See, at least a decent chunk of folk are aware and make it clear that they don't want a serious relationship, which is good. I commend them for being honest about that. But many are not, either because they are assholes or even they don't know it yet. You think you want love, but you don't. You only want the fun and the carefree parts of it, as well as the sex. Anything else, and all of a sudden, they seem to not be as fond of you as they used to be. All of a sudden, they're gone. It's going to be very annoying, but it is a part of dating in general, or seeking a date. Unfortunately, this is a part of it, so you're gonna have to get used to that one. And before I end this video, I want to let you know that I will be changing my upload schedule. If you've noticed, with the exception of like a few situations, I have mainly posted once per 3 days. I am going to be increasing that from once per 3 day to once per week. And I am also going to try and make the videos longer. And yeah, that's going to be about it for the video. I'll see you later again some other time. Goodbye.